Men, what's something that would surprise women about life as a man? How much we appreciate a woman's touch. You know how worried you're about seeming like a slut? We are at least that worried about seeming like a creep. How impossible it is to be nice to kids in public once you get over 18-ish in age. Contrary to popular belief, we adult men talk about sex like 5% of the time. We, too, have hobbies and dreams. It physically hurts when you hit us. I don't know why women feel they can playfully punch us all the time. We're not impervious to pain. We're human beings. How tough being a man can be. Men are generally seen as tough, stoic and overall just resilient. Well, we weren't born that way, we had to become that way. I'd say women would be surprised by how little support men have. Even when we're surrounded by people, it's very easy to feel completely on your own. Similarly, men almost never receive compliments or reassurance. I don't think most women will ever truly understand that, admittedly major part of the male experience. Funnily enough, I've been meaning to watch a short documentary about this woman who lives as a man for a year, at the end of which she decided life as a woman was indeed favorable. Literally, sometimes we can be sitting there thinking about nothing. My GF sometimes looks over and asks me what's wrong as I have a sad or upset expression on my face, but all I'm really wondering is how the fly that's buzzing around my room got in when all the windows are closed. My ex-GF once asked me what I was thinking when I was driving. She did not expect the answer to be, I wonder if I can fill up the windshield washers up with beer and somehow drink while driving. I'm not going to fight for you. As in, if a girlfriend tells me it's over, then as of that moment it is over for me as well. This isn't a movie or a romance novel. I'm not going to beg or fight to get you back. I have pride, and I'm going to respect your wishes, however painful that may be for me. No mind games. Playing hard to get. No, we're not gonna pursue you. We're just going to think you're uninterested and we will move on. Nothing felt better than the first time I gave up a chase. Was at a bar talking to an interesting and attractive woman and we were really hitting it off. Some other guy sidles up next to her on the other side and just sort of shoehorns himself into the conversation and they start talking. She just kinda turned her back on me, expecting that I would wait patiently for her to return, not making any attempt to include me in this new conversation. I just shrugged and walked away. While talking to my other friend, I see her dismiss bachelor number 2 and turn back around to where I had been sitting. Watching her become confused and then start looking around for where I went was thoroughly satisfying. No romantic endeavor is more satisfying than keeping your dignity. How strongly you are made to believe that you are disposable, not worth saving, and worth only what you do. How much people believe on general principle that you are dangerous. How little your pain matters compared to a woman's. How much work goes into receiving positive feedback, compliments, company or reassurance. I think this is mainly what I do daily, what I put most effort in, to get a basic, minimum amount of these things. Most days I fail. This is from someone who is reasonably attractive, has a prestigious job and is comfortable in groups and social situations. I can't even imagine what it's like without these things. LOL. I trained to be a massage therapist, and in my first year the teacher said, if the client gets an erection, I just end the massage right there. A fully grown man should be able to control it. All of the dozen female classmates of mine nodded and agreed, and I just sat there dumbfounded. What? There's no correlation between masculinity and liking beer and football. That's just billions of dollars of advertising. 95% of the time, we have no idea what's really going on and have nothing really figured out, but we get really good at making others think we do. Sometimes we genuinely are thinking about nothing and are just quiet. I don't know about other men, but sometimes I just enjoy my solitude and not having to think about all the stuff I have to do on a daily basis. There's nothing wrong, it's just how I deal with stuff. How simple our thought processes can be. A lot of women seem to think that men have all these premeditated intentions when in reality we don't always put that much thought into our actions. As a single father, I'm terrified to take my daughter out by myself. Despite how women say they'd love a man with kids, all I get is dirty looks when I'm sitting on a bench while she plays. I'm not a creep, I'm just a guy who loves his daughter. It doesn't help that my daughter is white with blonde hair and blue eyes. I'm half Hispanic, her mom is white. It really sucks. We have to be very careful about talking to children in public. If you're a short man, life is way harder than if you're a tall man. Height differences don't affect women as much. If you don't tell me exactly what's on your mind, I'm not going to attempt to figure it out on my own. If you don't tell me, I'll assume it's either unimportant or is something you'd rather not share with me. Men would like women to just be nice to them. When we're boys, we've got our moms, and sometimes they're not even nice. When we're older, we've sometimes got wives and girlfriends, and sometimes they're not nice either. We're supposed to be tough and just take the meanness. That you can't just walk straight on a sidewalk, you have to adjust your movement to let others pass. If a woman was a man for a day, I swear they'd get into a few fights before realizing this. You constantly see those "why did you cheat" threads on Reddit when in reality it's challenging enough to get one lady to sleep with us, let alone multiples on the side. We want to feel wanted just like women do. We can tell if the look you're giving us or the touch is genuine. Edit, you're not your. It takes a lot of guts and determination to date. You have to be the one to approach a woman. You have to take getting shot down and ridiculed with a smile. You have to make the first, second and third calls yet be able to take the hint that she's not interested or else you're a creep. It's why a lot of my guy friends are single. They just don't feel like running that rat race anymore. No, we didn't ignore your subtle hint, we just didn't get it. Definitely that we also enjoy compliments. I just got out of a 4-year relationship and during some reminiscing thoughts, I realized she never once told me I looked nice or called me handsome or anything. I told her she was beautiful every day for 4 years, and I don't even know if she found me attractive. It seems like girls understand pretty much every time they are getting hit on. Most guys I know don't. Most are so scared of being seen as creeps that flirting is often just taken as someone being nice. One time in particular it took a girl putting her hands down my pants at a bar to realize she wasn't just being nice. The unwritten expectations on being a man are a big part of how our lives are shaped. For some it works out fine, for others it's a disaster. I remember my wife asked me years ago, "Hey, get any compliments on your bald head?" It was a drastic change, shaved head. She thought it fit my style. At the time, I only worked with guys. She looked amazed and shocked when I laughingly replied, "Are you serious?" Doubt anyone noticed. She thought I was heartbroken, but in reality I would have been surprised if anyone did compliment. From my experience, women talk about sex with their friends much more, and in much more graphic detail than men talk about the same subject with other guy friends. We are taught from a young age that things don't happen to you, they happen because of you. You got a raise at work. Clearly you're a hard worker. Have a wife. Obviously you wooed her correctly. Got divorced. You ducked up. She just fell out of love with you. You should have fought harder for her. You're depressed. You need to suck it up. I think most women would be surprised to learn that our piss doesn't always come out in a nice steady straight stream. My wife still assumes I have no aim because of the times where it may be coming out more in a splash manner or the stream is just completely directed haywire. How awkward it is to cry or be emotional in front of other people even in situations where it would be normal, such as funerals. Usually bottle that stuff up and save it for when you're alone and then let it out so no one sees.